Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I wanted to do a look featuring products that I haven't used on my channel quite before. Before we get started, please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also be sure to add me on all of my other social media platforms. I will link my handles down below. So if you'd like to see how I created this look, please keep on watching. And we'll be starting with the DHC Super Collagen Mist. I love the fine mist. It literally feels like the product is kissing your skin. This infuses the skin with collagen-derived peptides to keep the skin refreshed and hydrated. And next I'll be going in with a pea-sized amount of the Eco Beyond Lotus Aqua Bomb Serum. And I'm applying this over the orbital bone without really pulling or tugging at the skin. And next I'll be going in with about a pump of the Erno Laszlo Firmarine Essence Lotion. This has a watery gel-like consistency that tones, hydrates, and revitalizes the skin. I feel like this is perfect for summer. If you're in a really hot, humid climate, maybe you can toss this into the fridge before application for a cooling, soothing effect. And next I'll go in with a pump of the CAUDALIE Glow Activating Anti-Wrinkle Serum. I have been loving this lately. I use it AM and or PM. And the combo with the 3-in-1 moisturizer, which is a lightweight dewy finish moisturizer, just really gives my skin a healthy, luminous glow. Next, I'll go in with the Drunk Elephant C-Tango Multivitamin Eye Cream. I have been loving this for AM and PM use. I do kind of tap this into the orbital bone. And now for the makeup look, I'm going to be using the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I know this isn't a new product, but it's my favorite. I like to use this as not just a concealer, but also as a primer for eyeshadow. And to begin the eye look, we'll dip into the ColourPop Shayla Perception palette. I'm using the shade Culture with a Bow Gashes tapered blending brush. The shade Culture is a matte soft brown. I am blending this into the crease as our first transitional shade in circular windshield wiper motions. And next we'll dip into the shade Thick. This is a matte vibrant orange, and I am focusing this shade into the outer crease in circular motions. And I do go back and dip into the shade multiple times so that I can really build the color up to my desired intensity. Something I do like about ColourPop shadows, you can build up each shade to your desired intensity. Next, I'm going to dip into the shade Revenge. This is a matte red brown, and this is going to be our third transitional shade. I am, however, focusing the shade on the outer lower crease, if you will. With a fluffy blending brush, I am taking the shade Played Out. This is a matte chocolate brown, and I am working the shade into the outer lid space, and this is going to create a softer, more diffused look. And to diffuse and clean up the look at the same time, I am taking another fluffy blending brush to diffuse the look of any harsh lines. Next, I'm going to dip into ColourPop's Moonwalk. This is a super shock shadow. It is a satin rusty orange with a yellow-green duochrome flip. This is a beautiful, beautiful shade, and I am using this as a base for another pressed shadow that we are going to be dipping into momentarily. But I love using super shock shadows with my fingers, and I especially love using the colored ones as a base for kind of metallic pressed shadows. And to darken the outer lid space, I am taking the shade Played Out with that same fluffy blending brush to kind of diffuse the look a little bit more. And now with a ColourPop shader brush, I am applying the shade IE. This is a metallic olive. This is a really pretty shade, and I am packing it over top Moonwalk. With a Morphe M431 brush, I am taking the shade Played Out, and I am working that into the crease as well to create a more defined look. Now I'm taking the Sephora Micellar Water with my very last Shiseido Facial Cotton Square to clean up the look. And this is what I have going on so far. Next, I'm going to go in with a bit of the Hourglass primer. I think this is the Veil primer. I like this primer, but it's definitely not my favorite. I like how this makes my skin feel. I just don't like how it makes my skin look, if you know what I'm saying. And this is not a new foundation, but it is my favorite. This is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I'm in the shade Warm Beige. And to conceal the under eye area, I am going to dip right back into the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I am in the shade Medium 28. And to set our concealer, I am going to use the Hourglass Veil Powder, and I'm also going to be using the brush here. I got these two products courtesy of Influencer, and I absolutely love these. I do have to mention that I have normal skin, and I have been using a banana powder to set my under eye area prior to having used this, and I love it all over the skin as well, but I do love this as an under eye setting powder. This does have kind of a luminous finish to it, but it is finely milled. The combo is a solid favorite of mine. I'm going to do my brows off camera. To clean up the brow space, I am going to dip into the Yes Please palette. I am going to be using the shade Full Zip on the Morphe E35 brush. And now for our lower lash line, I'm going to take a pencil brush. This one is by Sigma, and I'm going to dip into the shade Culture. I am working this shade on the entire lower lash line. Next, I'm going to dip back into Thick, and I am going to focus that shade on the outer lower lash line. With a flat definer brush, this one is by Sigma, I am going to dip into the shade Played Out, and I am going to place this on the outer lower lash line, and then I am going to diffuse that with a pencil brush. And now with the same pencil brush that we used to clean up the brow space, I am going to dip into the shade Unbothered. This is a metallic ivory with a peach flip to highlight the inner corner. I will be lining my eyes off camera with the Kat Von D liner in Trooper, and I will also be using the Lancome Hypnose Drama Mascara on the lashes. And I know this is not a new product, but this is the Becca and Chrissy face palette. I am dipping into the bronzer here, and I am using an angled face brush by ColourPop. I have been loving this combo recently. If you've been watching my videos for a while now, you know that I adore this bronzer. I think it might be my favorite of the year. Now I'm taking an angled face brush by Morphe, and I am using the Clockwork Pressed Powder Face Duo from ColourPop. I do not like this. I love the shade, but it is powdery and it is chalky, and it really doesn't show up on my skin. The highlighter, however, is absolutely beautiful. The blush, not my favorite. For a highlighter, I'm going to take my favorite duo from the ColourPop InNudeEndo palette. This is such a solid deal. It is $18. So I'm taking On the Loose and Morning After with a ColourPop brush. I am obsessed with this combo. It is beautiful. And here you can see me struggling again with that blush. I wanted to see if maybe it would show up a little bit more on my skin, but I don't think it worked. Now I'm going to take the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Powder. I've been loving this whenever I feel like I'm too oily, or if it's really hot here in LA, I will make sure to set my entire face with this powder. I've really been liking this. It doesn't really crease. I feel like it's a really nice drugstore powder. And now for lips, I'm going to take the BFF2 Lippie pencil. This is a mid-tone nude. And then I'm also taking the shade Quickie. This is a peachy nude, and this is from the ColourPop and Shayla collab. I've been loving this combo lately. And now to set our work, I'm going to take the DHC Super Collagen Mist. This is a lovely makeup setting spray. I've been digging this mist. And this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel before you leave if you haven't done so already, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!